Northern New England's trusted news source, ABC6 News at Noon.
Good afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Olivia DeRocha in today for Doreen Scanlon. Let's start with a check of the forecast this afternoon. Another breezy day out there. It's the wind that is making the difference. Nick, I keep saying this. It's hard to believe it's technically not winter yet, huh?
Yeah, that's right. It's certainly a very chilly day today, and we're going to be dealing with that wind all day today into this evening. Let's see what's happening right now, and the forecast for tomorrow is 40 degrees. Definitely need the sunglasses there. Check out the sky cam, though, and we've got a few puffy fair weather clouds. It's 40 right now. Feeling like 32, though. That northwest wind blowing at 15 miles per hour. Look at 5 o'clock. We're still going to deal with the wind blowing at 20 to 25 miles per hour, and even at 9 o'clock, it starts to abate at that point. We'll get breezy conditions later on this evening, but the wind chill right now is close to 30 degrees, so we shave about 10 degrees off that temperature. And the wind chill as we go into the evening will be around 20 to 25 by 8 o'clock tonight. It's a clear sky. We've got snow showers over the Great Lakes. Don't have to worry about that. We have the sunshine here and the clear sky tonight. 28 for the overnight low, and tomorrow will be up near 40 and less wind. So with the sunshine tomorrow, it'll feel a lot warmer. We've got a rainy windstorm to talk about. That's coming up in just about 10 minutes with the 7-day forecast.
All right, Nick, we'll see you then. Thank you. Happening right now at noon, the woman accused of attempted murder in Freetown on Friday is in court for an arraignment. Now, police say Angel Leah Duarte touched off as wild events that happened that night, allegedly stabbing one person in the face and fleeing with a 2-year-old. That child, thankfully, was found later in the woods with drone technology. Now, the suspect is set to be arraigned today on 2 separate charges, attempted murder and assault by means of a dangerous weapon. Her bail is set at $50,000, and of course, we'll have the latest on First at 4. The Massachusetts man charged with murdering a Stoughton woman and mother of 4 has been arrested in New York. 39-year-old Victor Carter was taken into custody at a bus terminal in New York City this weekend. The victim, Amber Buckner, was found dead Tuesday morning in another side building outside of her home. A family member telling our sister station WCVB in Boston her 4 children are now in state custody. A new job for a former Bristol County, Massachusetts congressman, former 4th District Rep. Joe Kennedy, tapped today by President Biden as the U.S. Special Envoy to Ireland. The post had been vacant since the end of the Trump administration. Britain and the EU have clashed with Northern Ireland over trade issues in recent months. The sides hope they can reach a deal before April. Joe Kennedy is the grandson of Robert F. Kennedy. Holiday spirit at the State House in Rhode Island. Governor McKee wishing Rhode Islanders celebrating Hanukkah a happy one at the annual State House menorah lighting that happened last night. That's what the State House looked like, and it should look like that again today. That's at the Festival of Lights. Hanukkah started last night at sundown and ends next Monday, December 26. Now to an ABC6 News follow-up. Rhode Island Governor Dan McKee taking a closer look inside the Cranston Street Armory this weekend, set up as a homeless shelter. A win in court for the governor meant those living in tents outside of the State House had to clear out or face arrest. Crews on hand were cleaning up the steps of the Smith Street side this weekend and discarding trash and those tents. Amos House is running the Armory Street Shelter right now.
Just checking in to thank the people that are, doing the work inside, Amos House and the different, volunteers that are in there, as well as the National Guard. But also saying hello to the people who have taken advantage of the, the warming station that's inside.
He just walked through here, and he talked to most people that were in here, and got their feelings of what they were going through. So he's very engaged.
The governor telling us he hopes to share more about how Rhode Islanders can now get involved to help the homeless at the Armory in the next coming days. Checking out political news this afternoon, turning now to the expected unprecedented move from the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol riot to refer criminal and civil charges to the Department of Justice against former President Donald Trump. Sources telling ABC News, the panel may refer other individuals to the DOJ as well and will be issuing an executive summary at the end of today's hearing. Here's ABC.
In the final days before Republicans retake the majority in the House, the January 6th committee is expected to recommend to the Justice Department that former President Donald Trump and possibly others be charged with crimes surrounding the deadly Capitol attack. The potential charges they could recommend to the DOJ include obstructing an official proceeding, defrauding the United States, and insurrection.
We're going to walk down and I'll be there with you.
The panel has spent over a year listening to more than 1,000 sworn depositions. They've combed through countless footage of the Capitol riot, text and communications, all carefully organized for the public to see over the course of 10 televised hearings. The latest ABC poll shows 52% of Americans believe Trump should be charged with the crime. Representative Liz Cheney, whose participation in the panel helped cost the Wyoming Republican her seat, will make a last high-profile stand against Trump, highlighting her effort to keep the former president out of the White House.
The central cause of January 6th was one man, Donald Trump, whom many others followed. None of this would have happened without him. He was personally and substantially involved in all of it.
The decision to prosecute Trump or anyone else is entirely up to the Justice Department, which has been conducting its own separate investigation for months, now overseen by Special Counsel Jack Smith.
Such an appointment underscores the department's commitment to both independence and accountability in particularly sensitive matters.
Now, following today's public hearing, the panel is expected to release a summary of its findings that include details on referrals and additional information about witnesses who appear before the committee. Ika Jachi, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
Still to come on the news at noon, cases of the flu and COVID continue to rise across the country right before the holidays. More on what health officials say you should do to stay safe. Welcome back. 2 buses carrying migrants from the southern border arrived in New York City on Sunday, and more may be on the way. Mayor Eric Adams told the city council he expects 10 to 15 more buses will arrive in the city just in the next few days. The mayor says the expected lifting of Title 42 later this week will likely result in more migrants coming to New York. Border Patrol has already encountered 2.7 million migrants at the southern border this year. That's the highest number on record. Checking in on your health, the so-called triple-demic, high cases of COVID-19, RSV, and the flu continues to fill hospitals and cause other concerns. Philadelphia schools even going as far as announcing masks will be mandatory for the next 2 weeks after students return back from winter break. Los Angeles County Hospital officials say deaths in the system are surpassing last year's numbers at this time. Brown University's Dr. Ashish Jha, working as the Biden administration's COVID-19 response coordinator, says the data is clear.
It's a clear increase. It's a substantial increase. We're seeing it across 90% of the country. So yeah, COVID cases are rising across the country right now. Yeah, so, people are still, I think, learning about the new COVID vaccine, the updated booster. There's still a lot of people are confused about whether they need one or not. We're being very clear about this. If you've not gotten a vaccine in the last 6 months, it is essential to go out and get the new updated bivalent.
And Dr. Jha says he's not surprised by the surge given that people are gathering and it's, of course, the winter. What about those reported shortage of kids' medicine, though?
Here's what's happening. We constantly, FDA, the health department, constantly track supply, making sure that manufacturing is going well, that the distribution is going well. Right now, manufacturing is going 24/7. Supply is good. Demand is unprecedented for all the reasons you laid out. We have more RSV, flu, COVID out there. So that demand, that increased demand is what is causing at moments spot outages in certain places. Our job is to make sure that that supply continues, in fact, ramps up further, and that we get it into stores. That, I am confident, will continue to happen. The supply is really good.
And Dr. Jha says RSV appears to have peaked and is on the way down, and that he hopes that will allow shelves to get back stocked up. In consumer news this afternoon, the Biden administration expected to announce a rule phasing out fluorescent light bulbs in exchange for energy-saving LED lights. The rule would more than double the minimum bulb efficiency level. The Department of Energy hopes to have it set in stone before 2025. Now, the Energy Department says LED bulbs often last 3 to 5 times longer than fluorescent bulbs, and they release minimal heat, meaning less wasted energy. Some good news at the gas pump. Rhode Island's average gas price is now down 12 cents from last week. That's according to AAA. The average is now sitting at about $3.33 a gallon. That is 44 cents lower than a month ago and 5 cents lower than this time last year. Rhode Island's gas price is 19 cents higher than the national average. Still to come on ABC6 News at noon, weather forecasters say more than 80% of the nation will experience temps below freezing for Christmas. We'll take a look at some of those abnormal places that are making the list. But right now, here locally, it's a gorgeous day here in Providence. Nick has your full forecast for the rest of the week. Stick around. Are you wishing for a white Christmas? Well, it's going to be a chilly week for most of the U.S. Weather forecasters say more than 80% of the nation will experience temperatures below freezing, including places as far south as Austin, Texas, and Orlando, Florida. This as an Arctic blast is expected to deliver the coldest Christmas in nearly 40 years to the Midwest. Beginning on Tuesday, the winter storm will bring heavy snow and strong winds across the Rockies, and it will grow stronger as it approaches the Midwest on Thursday and lasts through Christmas weekend. The weather will likely affect holiday travel, so the Weather Service is urging people to make alternate plans for travel.
And now, your ABC6 Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Nick Morganelli.
And good afternoon. Chances of a white Christmas, not so much here in Rhode Island, especially southern Rhode Island near the coastline. Only a 10 to 20% chance on average. A little bit higher as you go to the north, and really have to go to northern and central New England to get a white Christmas around here. And temperatures are close to 40 right now in the area. But where is that Arctic blast right now? It is in the North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, where temperatures are hovering near zero right now. And it's late morning there right now. So that air is going to make its way towards New England. It's going to move into the Great Lakes later in the week and then move in here during the course of the Christmas weekend. We won't have the severity of it when it gets here. It won't be near zero, but we will have the wind chill and it will get very cold. Lots of sun through Wednesday on our weather headlines. The next storm is Friday with warm rain, wind-driven rain coming on Friday, and then that Arctic blast coming in for Christmas weekend. So here is the storm that we're going to get with windy, mild weather coming in here for Friday during the day. It actually starts late night Thursday and goes through the day on Friday. And then this is Christmas weekend. An Arctic blast as the jet stream winds, which are right here in these, follow the arrows here, takes a big dip in the east, and that allows all this Arctic air to come in to the Midwest and into New England. And that is going to arrive here Friday night and be with us all weekend long. Wind chill on Christmas Eve, I think, is going to be close to 0 degrees. So right now it's 40, and we've got the feel-like temperature at 32 with a northwesterly wind blowing. Really no problems today. We've got the clear sky, sunshine. There are clouds offshore that are generated from the warm air going over the the cold air going over the relatively warmer water. So stratocumulus clouds there, and as well over the Great Lakes, same effect, only cold enough where they get some snow out of that one. And as we look at the nation as a whole, really not a lot going on. There's a storm system getting going here, but that's going to move up to the Great Lakes and not really bother us at all. So what we have to deal with is just this high pressure system for the next few days. That's a fair weather cell. That is going to give us the nice weather, not only for the remainder of today, but tomorrow and Wednesday with plenty of sunshine. That high will move off to the north, and that'll allow the storm system to start to move in here by Thursday night. So tonight, 28, breezy. We'll get rid of the gustiness of the wind, but it will still be breezy. So wind chill around 20 degrees or so tonight, blowing northwest at 10 to 15. Sunshine tomorrow, 40 degrees, variable and light wind. It might get moderate for a time in the afternoon, but for the most part, it is a lighter wind tomorrow, and we do have the sunshine. And it'll feel a lot warmer without that wind tomorrow. So dry right through Thursday, and then Thursday night, late, we're going to see that rain moving in. And wow, I'll tell you, Olivia, it's going to be really something on Friday with a lot of wind. I think we could see some coastal flooding situations too, with a strong south wind and crashing waves and that kind of thing. It's going to be
that 56 looked a little odd in the weather, huh?
I know. That's I guess that's the good part of it, is that it is going to get warmer.
Okay, and at least I guess maybe it's not snow, so we'll keep for that day, a little rain. Is that what I'm seeing?
For that day,
okay,
yeah.
well, we'll keep an eye on that, and I know you, of course, will keep us up to date on that.
All
right, still to come today at noon. What a disaster. We have a recap of the Patriots' defeat to the Raiders, plus the Red Sox bringing in another Dodger. Details on Justin Turner's new deal. Now to the Patriots. It had to be a lonely ride home to Warwick aboard that Patriots plane last night. We just can't stop looking at this play. The Pats absolutely embarrassed on the final play of the game in Vegas on Sunday. What was supposed to be a draw play just to run out the clock until overtime turned into a comedy of failed laterals. The final one ending up in the arms of a former Patriot, Chandler Jones. Jones stiff-armed Pats QB, Mac Jones, and the rest was history. Raiders touchdown. Pats lose.
Yeah, look, we've talked about situational football. We talk about it every week. But we got to do a better job playing situational football and not making critical mistakes in the game.
Yeah, I think we just got to finish better, and obviously tough situation and falls on all of us, and we just got to do better. So it is what it is, and tough way to go out, but we got to just watch the tape and get better.
That was quite the tough way. Okay, the loss drops New England to 7-7 and out of the playoffs for the time being. The Pats are now behind both the Chargers and the Dolphins by a game for the final spots in the AFC. Turning to baseball now, the Red Sox bringing in another former Dodger. This time it's third baseman Justin Turner. ESPN is reporting the 38-year-old Turner is joining Boston on a 2-year deal worth about $22 million. The deal reportedly also has an opt-out after the first year. Turner is expected to DH and play first base in Boston with star third baseman Rafael Devers locked in at the hot corner. JD Martinez signed with the Dodgers over the weekend. Still to come on ABC6 News at noon. How about a giant Fruit Loop for Christmas? Details on the art piece and why Kellogg's is not happy. Plus, Nick has another look at your forecast this afternoon. Stick with us. If you're looking for the perfect holiday gift, listen up. How about a giant Fruit Loop? This 930-calorie cereal almost weighs half a pound and is big enough to fill an entire cereal box. It's the latest playful art piece from Brooklyn-based artist Collective Mischief and is expected to taste just like the cereal. Now at 930 calories, the website declares it is part of an extremely unbalanced breakfast. The giant Fruit Loop goes on sale Monday for $19.99. It's not as bad as I thought, but they're going to be releasing only a limited amount. So, Nick, you're going to have to get that pretty quickly if you're looking for that, huh?
I'm not a Fruit Loop. If it was a giant Crunchberry, though.
What's that?
Captain Crunchberry. I do the Crunch Berry.
I've never had that.
No? Captain Crunch? I
No.
have to bring
Cinnamon
bring
Toast
in some
Crunch.
Captain
I'm a Cinnamon
Crunch
Toast
tomorrow.
Crunch girl. Okay.
Yeah, that's a lot of calories. let's see what the weather's doing. Let's see if it's conducive to outdoor exercise so we can burn some of those calories. Well, it's a little chilly, 28 tonight, and tomorrow morning it will be okay for the kids. 30 degrees and sunny, 40 by the afternoon. I guess they could get outside and play. Hats and mittens for sure. 7-day forecast showing the mild weather continuing to the end of the week. And then it all switches around and we get an Arctic blast in here for Christmas weekend.
Yeah, we're looking at some of those places that are supposed to get cold, like Florida. You're like,
Yeah.
wow, this is crazy. All right, well,
right.
you'll be keeping the latest on that. And thank you so much for joining us for the news at noon. The news continues first at 4. Join us online if you ever need any weather or news updates. Thank you.